You're live on Periscope.
Are we live? Should I play?
You're live in real life.
Bam, bam, jump, 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 bam, bam, meow, 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 jump, ba, 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 ba. Welcome to Essential TV, starring Joe and Luke, or Luke and Joe, depending on what type of mood Luke is in today. Are you in a good mood?
I'm doing all right.
He's doing just all right. So welcome to Essential TV with Joe and Luke. This is our series finale show. It's been
But we'll be
10
back.
weeks.
That doesn't mean that we're done.
Next week we start our pre-season 7 show.
I can't hear anything,
and that'll be
she
that.
says.
Are we
Here,
getting
I'll
tech
fix that.
problems?
Periscope has a tech problem.
All right, we're getting Periscope problems. Are we
Can
gonna
you hear
unplug
us now?
Periscope? Can you hear us from Periscope?
Periscopers?
Periscopers? Oh, it's good now? Better? All right, I think we're good. She did it.
We're good.
All right, excellent. Welcome to the Words of Winter. All right, Luke, sit down. You're making me nervous.
Well, I'm sorry. I just smudged
Trying to
the
commit
camera.
suicide live here for all the
Okay.
world to see.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm just pulling up our comments. Oh, John Mother Effin' Snow.
Yes. And first thing I'll say is that yesterday we did a pre-ending show, and I opened playing with
Pre-ending?
my guitar riff, and the sound didn't come through, which probably made it look a lot more hilarious, so I apologize about that. We're a young show, and we'll try and do it better next time. And as always, Luke and I have not spoken about the show yet, so now I can finally talk to him about it.
Okay.
Luke, what did you think?
So I see a final was underwhelming, which I actually find surprising.
I thought it was very whelming. Is whelming a word?
I was
regular
suitably
whelmed. Yeah,
I was whelmed.
I thought it was just as good as last week's, just in a very different
You guys
way.
are a bit blurry. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about that right now.
That's actually in real life. We are a little bit
We're just
blurry.
blurry.
That's just how it goes.
Okay, so Sarah already calling out. I want to say I called Tommen and Cersei being the cause of his death.
I didn't think Tommen was going to die like that.
So whelmed.
So whelmed. I didn't
so
think
whelmed.
Tommen was going to die the way Tommen died.
Oh, I have it was the best episode of TV I've ever watched.
It was up there. It was definitely up there.
So I think that these last 2 episodes together
Brought the whole season together.
if you put the previous episode, episode 9, and the season finale together, I think you've got perhaps the most powerful,
riveting. Use the word riveting.
compelling
I don't use it again.
couple of episodes in TV history.
Yeah,
Am I
by
wrong?
far. And probably the most expensive also. That's a guarantee.
Tommen became a nice villain. I wouldn't say Tommen's a villain.
First of all, Luke, you definitely get the award because you've been calling this Cersei blowing up King's Landing.
I thought she was
since
going
you
to
were
go farther.
born. You've been saying that
I
for
thought she
like
was going to
3
go
decades
farther.
now.
I thought she was going to blow up more than just
Really,
that.
I thought she went even as far as possible with the amount of people that she killed. I didn't think
she
she'd
could go
pull it
bigger.
off like that. And it also did not see Tommen dying like that.
We saw yesterday. We did our pre-game.
And cheers.
Pre-Game of
We're going to
Thrones.
do a cheers.
Cheers
To
with our
all the
goblets.
people that died. So
All our
here's
fallen
to
homies.
Kevin Lannister, Marjorie Tyrell, Loras Tyrell, the High Sparrow,
Grandmaster Pycelle.
Pycelle.
Who's left? Who else?
What's his name? The cousin?
Lancel.
Lancel.
Lancel Lannister.
And is that it?
No, I'm short.
Oh, and Walter Frey.
Walter Frey.
Did we miss anything else? I think that was it.
Yeah, your dad, Walter Frey.
My father, Walter Frey, exactly. So here's to them.
All right.
Now their rest is ended or something like that.
Okay, everyone. So Ben, let's run through what we've got here. Ben is running the show.
Ben, take us to a. Oh, this is our next slide. We have to whore our wares first.
So we're right now live on Facebook and Periscope. Sorry, the Periscope is a little fuzzy.
No, but it's like that because we're in a haze because the series is over, so we're confused
Yeah,
about
we're confused.
what we have left to live for.
So
it's
let's
good
get
that we're
into
in
the
a
story,
haze.
Ben.
Yeah.
What do we have?
Oh, you want to talk about the show?
I want to talk about the show.
We can talk about the show.
So here are our
Here are
fallen
all our
homies.
deaths. At least these were the King's Landing deaths.
This was this episode.
That's for sure. So
the
that
North
was,
does remember.
Yeah.
The North does remember. Arya was impressive. We will get to Arya. We will get to the North. All right, bring on the next one, Mr. Ben. Follow us.
Back to Gendry.
Gendry.
He's still there.
I'm going to save him for last.
Do you think he heard the explosion in the middle of the water? He was like, oh, what
He's
was
like,
that?
ooh, I better row faster.
I better row faster in a circle and just get bigger and bigger. I don't know what's
Music
going on
was
over
terrific, Jennifer.
there. Oh my God, it was a total
Lady
Coldplay music video beginning.
Okay.
Shout out to that pianist who just nailed it.
I saw so many comments on the internet, as one does, about the music.
That's
for
that
this
place.
episode.
That's where Donald Trump gets his
Hodor.
news from.
Hodor.
Oh, we're playing that game? No, I got shit-faced
They
last time.
remember.
We can't play
They
the
remember the
drinking
Hodor
game.
drinking game.
No, I had to go to like Alcoholic Anonymous after that. I'm still in it because of that goddamn giant.
Hodorholics. Yes, I will miss Marjorie as well. There's a lot of Marjorie missers already.
They really built her up, and poor Loras got his face all cut up for nothing.
Gendry's the last Baratheon. I was thinking that too. It's
That
like,
sucks.
yo, if you're going to blow the place up, can you please blow the place up
Ahead of
before
time?
they carve something
he didn't
into
even
my
get
forehead?
to have a last comeuppance, like yell at the crowd or something like that.
That was not a good way to go.
You know?
Okay, so the big news. The big news
Winter
out of
is
Westeros.
here.
Winter is
Yeah.
here. Officially announced by our weather gal, our weather lass,
exactly.
Sansa Stark.
The Westeros El Roker. That's who she is essentially. She's just dishing it out.
Basically,
Absolutely.
they're basically the same.
Hashtag weather talk, totally.
Hashtag
Was
weather
it in
talk.
the first episode of the first season, or sometime during the first season, doesn't Pycelle come in with a note that says what? Winter is over?
I don't know. I think
Doesn't he say the same
I
thing?
think he was listening to the same weathermen that
Right.
I listen to every morning on the radio. They're always wrong.
Gotcha.
I carry an umbrella and then it's dry all day. So anyway, let's move on. What do we have next here? So the Tower of Joy.
We got it.
We finally got it.
We finally got that
Are
Tower
you guys
of Joy.
happy? We finally
But
got
we
the Tower
didn't
of Joy.
really get it because we don't really know if he's a Targaryen yet.
Okay.
There was a whisper.
So-
and I'm glad that they're milking that even longer.
Take it to the next one, please. Mr. Snow, right? This equation, right?
R
R plus L equals
L.
J. This is still a variable. This here is still a variable because they did not tell us. They did not tell us.
No, the math still is not, there's no equals yet. We don't know. He's still not a dragon rider.
And Melissa on Facebook says he's a Baratheon. So, and that's another theory. So the R is either Rhaegar Targaryen.
You're going to knock this over, so
I
I'm
probably
just
will.
going to move
It's either Rhaegar Targaryen or there's a theory it's Robert Baratheon and he's a Baratheon. I don't know.
That's not as exciting.
But here's the thing. Here's how I'll disprove that theory. Because Ned is protecting him, right? Why would Ned have to protect Jon Snow and cover his whole identity
If he was a Baratheon.
if he was
exactly.
a Baratheon?
The whole point
because
of hiding
Robert
him
Baratheon would have killed him if he was Rhaegar's son.
just like he was killing all the Targaryens, so it had to be done.
So, and yes, he has black of hair, but
Black of hair.
genes, they don't know about genetics.
They don't.
So
Maybe they do, but I bet you Qyburn does.
Daenerys would be Jon's aunt. You are correct, Jocelyn.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking he's probably a Targaryen. I mean, that makes sense. You're right in that
has
logic.
everyone just accepted that Rhaegar Targaryen is Jon Snow's father? Is
I think
everyone,
we're all
are we
on
on
that
the same
page.
page here?
I think just in the way that everyone accepted that
Yeah.
Cersei was going to
Yeah,
blow
I'm
some
seeing a
shit
lot
up,
of
and
yeps.
she did it anyway.
Seeing a lot of yeps, a couple yups.
Yeah.
You know, just to cover our bases. When will next season air? Expected in April of 2017.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's.
I
Oh my
hate-
God. Just.
When I say it, it's like
I
I
wish
kind
this
of
axe was real.
just gurgles out of me.
But they already started filming season 7, so I'm serious. Like in a week or two, we're going to start our season 7 pre-show, and we'll just
We're gonna
go
talk.
there.
We're gonna talk
We're
about.
gonna fly. We're gonna start a GoFundMe campaign to get us to go to
was
Europe.
thinking October.
We're gonna
You were
hang out
thinking
in
wrong.
Scotland, and we're just gonna try and get drunk with the cast and just end up. Our dream
I
is to
think
be
they're in-
extras
they're in
the
Ireland,
show.
but,
They're in Ireland, wherever.
Yeah.
Shout out to our international
And
audience.
shout out to our
wherever you
friends
are.
that they haven't started filming yet. Naninium, who is always on
No,
set.
but they're there. They're doing their
Apparently.
thing. Who knows?
So anyway, yeah, I think we've all accepted this is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen, and
Come. Oh, we have a couch to stay on. Come stay with me. We're staying by you. Thank you.
I hope it's a big couch.
Excellent.
Okay.
Screw
so-
you, Airbnb. We
So
don't need
let's
you.
move on. It would be shocking if this did not prove to be true.
Right.
So Lady Mormont, you may not
Oh.
be able to see this very well.
Hero of my life.
Young Lyanna Mormont, and if ever there was someone that could make you follow, by
I'd
the
follow
way,
her,
you
for
should
sure.
Follow us.
Yeah.
Follow us on the internet.
Yeah.
I love how she stood up and she just out of nowhere she proclaims the
threw
new king
shade
of the north.
across the
Yo,
audience.
this is my king of the north.
You know, a question that I kept thinking about. And
Don't argue with the 10-year-old.
I'm going to ask before the slide comes up or whatever, but you know how, like, every time they crown a new king, everyone busts their swords out? How many people do you think get slashed by their neighbor when they're doing that? Every time you crown a king, I bet you like 5% of the soldiers die just from pulling the sword out.
If you look very closely at the crowd, I bet there's a lot of them going like,
yeah, exactly. Like, oh shit, now I'm bleeding. Like, I mean, a coronation, that's dangerous.
Is this in your way?
I bet it happened with King Rob, and it happened with King Snow.
She is literally a bear.
Oh, can she shapeshift into a bear?
No, I mean, she's a Mormont. I mean,
who's the guy from The Hobbit? I'm about to say Boromir, but it's not Boromir. The dude from The Hobbit that could become a bear?
Oh.
Boromir? No.
Boromir.
What's his name? Come on, you're all nerds out there. We all saw The Hobbit.
You're not all nerds.
Whatever that guy's name was.
Most of you.
Just most of you guys.
Yes.
Anyway, maybe she has that type of power. We don't know
Lady
yet.
Mormont is awesome.
But she definitely, she wins the episode.
She has the power to bestow kingship upon those she deems worthy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Boromir was a dick, yeah.
He was.
But he died, just like Sean Bean always does.
You got to know whenever Sean Bean is playing a character in a movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Sean Bean has been cast in this role.
Absolutely. All right, next slide. What else do we got?
I'm seeing a lot of Bjorns.
Bjorn? Oh,
everyone's on top of you. Bjorn.
Yeah. We're all on the same. Bjorn.
Just like Bjork.
Exactly. Like Bjork could also become a bear. You do know that.
Yes.
I think most Iceland. Do we have any people from Iceland watching? Where's my Reykjavik brothers and sisters? You like that? I know
that was
Reykjavik.
good.
It's
I like how you.
right?
I like how you pronounce that.
I had a stop off on an airplane in Reykjavik once, so like
So you memorized it. It must have been a long time for you.
You know
to
what?
Memorize it.
I might even be able to spell it. I'm not going to try because I'll probably.
We'll
throw
try
it up,
afterwards.
but, like, it could theoretically be possible.
Okay, so thank you, Ben, keeping us on track. That's what happens when you have a director.
Hashtag shut the fuck up, Joe.
Hashtag
we don't care that you lived in Iceland once.
Okay, so Sansa and Littlefinger. I love the scene with the King of the North proclamation, and you can just watch Littlefinger's face. He's like...
But you could also see Sansa's face. I think Sansa's going to acknowledge that Littlefinger would be a better king.
I was watching... Did anyone read into Sansa's expression?
Yeah. Shut the fuck... Yes. Thank you. You spelt it wrong.
Thank you, Scott.
You got this.
We got the point.
This.
Yeah, did anyone read into Sansa's... What do you think about Sansa? What was her reaction? Because I was watching her face, and for the most part, yeah, I hope Sansa didn't get irritated. They gave Jon all the credit.
He did get all the credit. She was probably thinking like, yo,
Sansa sees a new enemy. I think she was, after this scene, after she had this conversation, I think it maybe was going through her head that, yeah, I could maybe step up and I could maybe rule. But I was watching...
And hey, Littlefinger has an amazing head on his shoulders. He might be an amazing king.
He might
Jon will be Lord of Winterfell. That's fine. Jon doesn't want to be king. They crowned him king, but he just wanted to go south and
But she also remembers what happened to her Aunt Lysa.
A sweet Hollywood
Remember?
tan.
Moondor?
Oh, we got Moondor.
You've been Moondored.
Moon the door!
Moon the door.
Moon the door!
So, yeah. And I did, as someone points out, she did say to Jon Snow that he is a Stark to her, which was good because it's showing the solidarity. But I think at the end, I'm wondering
and
which
she finally
direction she's gonna go.
apologized for not letting Jon Snow know about the Knights of the Vale. She didn't say why she didn't, but at least she admitted that that was a stupid thing to do.
Peter Baelish, no, he rose. Somebody asked he wasn't noble born, was he? But he
no,
fought
he's
his way
the
up.
original rags to riches.
He's a rags to riches kind of guy.
He's the Arnold Schwarzenegger of Westeros. Come from
Sansa's behind Jon.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see which way they go with this because I could see she's being stuck in the middle now. I think, you know, we talked about last time about Ramsay's gone. Who's the big villain? We got Euron Greyjoy.
The big villain is Cersei.
Cersei, obviously, we'll get to her. But I think that Peter Baelish is the other big villain.
Yeah.
And Sansa's going to be caught in the middle.
Or again, if Jon, I think if Jon Snow is just King of the North, that's what he wants to do, and Littlefinger could be.
But he doesn't know he's a Targaryen yet,
right? So that'll be a whole other cup of tea.
I'm pretty sure Sansa is not the leader of the Harpies, but that is a new conspiracy theory.
Where did that even come from?
I credit you for originality.
A for originality, absolutely.
Okay, so moving on.
Hold on, let me check look how big my notes are this week.
These are big notes.
My vision is failing me because I watch Game of Thrones so close to the monitor, literally like 1 inch from the monitor, that I can't see anything anymore.
Littlefinger knows about Jon. Yes, I think that Littlefinger does at least have an inkling of Jon's true parentage.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he uses that to his advantage or not, because I know Littlefinger wants the throne, but Winterfell's a big stepping stone towards it, and by default, the King of the North, his castle's in Winterfell.
Right.
So,
well, here's another thing. I mean, Jon Snow doesn't. I mean, Baelish has a bigger army than him. The Knights of the Vale fight for Baelish. They don't fight for.
Well, they've united all these houses.
They didn't declare King of the North.
Young Lady Mormont has united the houses, so I think that
So they're all chill now.
I'm not doing the math on this, but I'm assuming that means Jon Snow has much bigger forces.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Oh, and we see some disagreement about Littlefinger knowing about Jon. I'm not sure that he knows for sure, but I think he
might have a hint.
He's kind of hinted at it to Sansa in the past.
Yeah, I buy that.
Like the expression whenever Sansa's talking about her aunt Lyanna and she was raped and murdered by Rhaegar Targaryen, Littlefinger gives this look like, that's what you want to believe.
Right, but
that was last season, I believe.
What happened? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and Winterfell is the only place he can hold off the Night's King for now. Littlefinger knows everything, as opposed to Jon Snow, who knows nothing.
Moved.
So, real quick, yes, moving on. Do you think Jon will ever find out whose parents are? I'm not moving on. Yes, I think
my job is to point.
That's a next season
fine.
thing.
I hold it.
Well, it's obviously everything's a next season thing at this point. But I think that next season the Targaryen comes out of him.
Next season
when Daenerys moves into town. I don't know. Bran's going to find out. Howland Reed knows. People know.
People know.
A couple people know.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, I don't want to spend much time on Davos. I just wanted to point out, did anyone else feel like this was really strategically a misstep, which is in totally keeping with Jon Snow's MO?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a classic Jon Snow misstep. He didn't accomplish the two things that he couldn't accomplish. By sending her away, A, that doesn't help Davos because he doesn't get revenge, and B, it doesn't help him because he doesn't have a counsel. So he fumbled that in any conceivable way.
This was a misstep. Exactly.
Because I heard rumors that he's secretly a Milk of the Puppy addict and has no idea what's going on.
That would explain
Like, they might stage, like, season 7 might just be an intervention.
And Skoxt on Periscope says Melisandre meets Arya in the Brotherhood without banners.
She'll definitely re-meet with the brother. She's not out of the game. She'll be brought back.
If you recall, when Melisandre met Arya previously, she looks at her and she says,
a lot of eyes that you're going to close.
Green eyes and blue eyes and brown eyes and eyes you'll close forever.
That's a good impression. You nailed it.
We will meet again. Yeah. I saw the GIF.
I thought I was with Melisandre for a second.
I saw the GIF of it this morning and it's just stuck with me.
You and a 500-year-old woman are pretty much the same thing. And I mean that in the best ways possible.
She's better accessorized.
She has a better necklace, but you got a better crown. So
burn her anyway. So anyway, her story is not over.
No,
we will get to Varys and his quick travel. He is.
By the way, can I just say, in terms of the quick travel, because two people speed traveled, Arya and Varys. Because I actually looked at a map of Westeros to see how far things are. Arya could have pulled it off, but Varys to go from one place all the way. Marine is on the other side of them. Not possible.
Here's my new conspiracy theory.
Unless if you don't have a dick, you can run much
faster.
Varys
is a twin. There are.
There's like 12 Varyses.
There are Vari.
Do you think that, like, you know how Dracula breaks apart and becomes all these little bats? Like, maybe he breaks apart and becomes all these little children, little bald children that just fly around all the place?
Varys must have a teleporter. I just want to point out that
he's lots of little children in a giant Varys suit.
Game of Thrones puts tremendous emphasis on its maps.
Yes.
But then it pays no attention to the practical applications.
Or maybe they pulled an interstellar wormhole, like the Westeros map could be turned that way.
And Liam puts out wisely, I don't care about the time jumps. It's boring to watch people, I'm assuming,
just sail and stuff. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, but seriously, okay.
In the end of the day, it is just a show, so we have to accept things.
On the flip side, right, Varys is here, then he's there, then he's everywhere. How long has it taken Sam and Gilly to get to that damn library?
A very long time.
They must be stopping at every rest stop.
Which is a cool scene. I'm glad we saw that library.
Sam has a small bladder.
Yeah, I'm going to be the annoying science dude. I'm going to say that an animal as big as a dragon could not feasibly lift its body into the air via wings. An animal like that has never existed. Physics would not allow an animal like that to exist.
We put that aside.
So if that, and I accept that, I'm down with dragons, so I'm down with speed travel. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Varys is like MasterCard. He's everywhere you want to
be.
So
glad I got to talk about dragons like that.
Okay, is it Renly? If I'll be Renly.
Is it Renly?
Is it Renly? Is it a Renly?
Would it be Renly if? Possibly.
My favorite quote or my favorite comment from all these that we've done is, use a Renly.
Use a Renly.
Use a Renly.
Use a total Renly, absolutely.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Next slide, please. Oh, yes, we still have our giveaway. We're still giving away these
And we
chicken
now
Funko
have
Pops.
actually a bunch of people that have entered, but you should definitely still enter because
your odds are still good. Jody,
again,
you're
these
getting
are
a
top
Jody.
weighted, and you can chuck them really well. I've thrown these at Luke before; they bounce right off the ground. But when he's not wearing the crown,
Facebook.com/ESNTLTV for Essential TV. There's a giveaway. It's ending later this week. So pops are lame. They don't enter the contest.
they're very top heavy.
They have big heads. They're modeled after Tyrion. More
Oh, and you know what we also have, which you guys can't have, but Hand of the Queen.
Hand of the Queen
thing going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and not give this to Luke and just wear it right here.
Don't scrape your microphone. All right, moving on.
I'll scrape it if I have to. It's worth it. Oh, I can't even open it.
How about that library in Old Town? It was a big honking library, and that dude's glasses were absurd.
Awesome. I think we have a clip of that.
Yes, the three heads of the dragon.
I can't
The
put
dragon
this
has
on
three
screen right
heads.
now.
We always reference that with the Funko Pops.
Yes.
I think it's not a coincidence that there are the three heads of
And
the dragon.
I always thought it was a little bit silly to envision Tyrion on the dragon, but now that he is Hand of the Queen,
He's getting there.
Certainly makes sense.
He's
that
one step
he
away
would
from
get
getting a
one.
dragon of his own.
Yeah.
And they didn't eat him earlier, so that was nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of eating people,
Oh,
how'd you like that segue?
pretty
It was
good.
pretty good.
Oh, very nice.
You'd think
very
that we
nice.
rehearsed this.
Which we did not, of course.
I don't know if Tyrion's a Targaryen. I think that's maybe a stretch. Okay. Battle of the Queens next year. I think that's all that's left, or Queens, right?
Yeah.
And the King of the North.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think next season's going to be everyone versus King's Landing,
Pretty much.
which will be
That
formidable.
should last about 15 minutes in the first episode.
Here's a question that I have. Cersei,
Helmet Dude talks way too much.
It's very true.
It's true.
Very true. That's why I'm
It's like
on
you've
this
known
show.
him his whole life.
Cersei is an interesting villain. The Night King is not.
That's the thing.
And I'm
the
wondering
Night King
if
has
that's
no personality.
going to be a problem if it's just good guys versus bad guys.
Everybody knows that the best villains in this show have tons of personality.
Right. That's why the show's so interesting. Because
Right.
Jaime Lannister is still a good guy, so I don't
So
want
there
to
is
see him
there
be
is a
killed.
flaw with the Night's King in that
Right.
he does
I'm
not have the
assuming
personality.
that they're going to, make that interesting, but I feel like that's going to be an inherent problem.
I think it is. They're going to have to keep fighting amongst themselves until the very end.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be like action.
A big swoop or
Yeah.
something, bring it to theaters. And
When will
IMAX or
Daenerys
whatever.
arrive in Westeros? Well, based on the time jumping and the moving around, she's probably
She's
been
already
there like
there
all day.
She already cleaned house, absolutely.
So anyway, I want to talk about Arya because I really did not expect to see Arya in this episode, to be quite honest.
they set up her character.
And
she's
this
playing
also
really
goes
well.
with the jumping around. She really travels fast. Considering how long it took her in previous seasons to travel around, I guess the Hound was slowing her down.
The Hound
and
was
Hot
slowing her
Pie
down.
was slowing her down
Hot Pie was
before.
definitely
Hot
slowing
Pie
her
was-
down.
He
Yeah.
cannot run.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But here's another question from the guy that talks too much. By the way, this is a talk show. I'm supposed to talk too much. How did she get the face? Isn't she not allowed to get faces? And if she's not allowed to get faces, they have some whack-ass security system at the House in Black and White.
I question the faces.
I question their security
And
system.
does she walk around with like a cooler of faces? Because they probably don't last
They
long.
probably spoil like a lot. Maybe did they have ice back then? I don't think they had. I have snow.
You've been undermining Arya's bossness. That is true, odd one. I have been undermining it.
That could be it. That
And
could be
she
it.
could be coming for me. You could be her, for all I know. So anyway, revenge.
Plead the fifth on that
Revenge is a dish best served
Encrusted in pie.
with gross fingernails sticking out of it.
Yes.
So it's like when you get a hair in your soup.
You send it back.
You send it back. Walter Frey, send that one back.
That definitely got sent back.
I do not think.
There's a bad Yelp review going on at
I do
Riverrun
not
right
think
now.
Arya could sit on the throne, and I don't think she would want
I
to.
don't think she wants to sit in the throne, but I do think she's going to end up back at Winterfell. There's going to be an epic Stark reunion because there are still many Starks left.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. I'm late. What did I miss?
There's a show called Game of Thrones.
I hope you
on
saw the
HBO.
season
Check it
finale.
out.
Arya and Robin. I hope not.
You think we'll see much more of Robin? He needs to live so that
He'll
Baelish
show
can
up.
stay
He'll
in
show up
control.
again.
Right.
So anyway, did this happen too fast?
It needed
Is
to
this
happen.
too fast?
It brought Arya back
This
into the fold.
episode, there was so much in this episode. Honestly, I was certifiably whelmed, not underwhelmed. I
Right,
was happy with this
regular whelmed,
episode.
reg
I was
whelmed, yeah.
I was suitably whelmed, and I don't think this needed to be in this episode. As much as I loved seeing it, They could have showed this to us next season, and I feel like with the travel time and everything, it would have been okay.
It would have made sense, but I think it's just he's been alive for like the Red Wedding was 4 years ago at this. No, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and people have been kind of waiting for that revenge for a long time. She was the person to get it.
I'm glad it happened this way.
I would have list has she killed? Just 2, right?
Her list is always changing.
Right, but she killed Sir Meryn Trant and this guy, and that's pretty much it.
And she left the mountain for dead, as far as she knows he was.
Right.
So, anyway, your reindeer Burger King crown looks stupid, Ben. Why don't you come in here and tell me that? Why don't you come in here and tell me that? Tell it to my face.
We don't really get a lot of angry trolls like most of the internet, so feel free to unleash. It's okay.
That's okay. We like. It's okay. We love the trolls.
We love trolls.
We're like Donald Trump. I love the trolls. The trolls love me.
The trolls love me. Who doesn't love me more than
trolls?
Speaking of giant trolls, we finally got to see the mountain with his helmet off, which
my.
dispelled the theory that he's not wearing Joffrey's head. Someone brought that up once, and I thought that was awesome.
So awesome.
But I think we have a slide of poor Olenna. Is that her name?
Well, let's see what's next. We'll get to
we'll get to that. Yeah.
So real quick, I just want to wrap up the Starkness, right?
Yes.
And then we got to get to King's Landing.
We got to go there.
Okay. They have to end some storylines, tie up loose ends. Yeah, absolutely. That's what they were doing. I think we're concentrating now on the main story.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of which, Benjen, great to see him again. We waited a long time for him. We barely saw him at all.
But what he was saying, he has a power. He can't go north of the wall.
The wall, just like remember whenever Bran
was built with ancient spells.
You know, Bran was protected with the Raven, and the Night's King couldn't get in.
Right.
And then he marked him, and he could get in. Now the wall has that same magic too. And Benjen is half dead, so he can't go across the wall. He can't travel to the wall.
So is the South not in danger?
But when Bran gets to the wall, does that mean the Night's King now the door is open?
Bran just...
If so, should Benjen not have warned Bran, yo, you better
don't
stay
go,
near the
just
wall.
hang out with me. We'll pull an Alaskan vacation.
Oh, and someone points out, Cinevolver, I thought we'd see White Walkers last night. That is true.
I also thought that.
That is probably the only thing that they did not give us last night, except for Gendry.
Except for Gendry and Lady Stoneheart, who you all think you're waiting for.
Bran crosses the wall, and the wall comes down. Boom, Britta says.
Like the second he crosses?
The wall is going to come down.
Yeah.
My question is this an end of season 7 thing, or is this like a beginning or mid-season? Like
the wall coming down,
when does
end
the wall
of
come
season
down?
7. If anything, that'll be season 7 finale.
Season 8?
Because they'll devote season 8 to the actual war. All of next season is going to be King's Landing, Westeros, like all of that going on. Who's going where?
I see a lot of Lady Stoneheart love, and people asking, because we're pretty sure Lady Stoneheart is not coming into the show
at all.
But there is the chance that somebody takes on her storyline because it's a very popular storyline from the books.
Right.
Maybe Arya kind of assumes that role. There's been some thought that maybe Sansa would have, which I think it's not really going that way, but maybe it's like bits and pieces of it. I don't know. But Lady Stoneheart herself, I do not expect to ever show up.
Agreed. Unless she's south of the wall with Benjen.
What do you think happened to Gendry? Gendry's just,
I think
rowing.
he's still in the water.
He's just rowing.
I think he's still in the water.
Arya takes that role. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm hoping that when the battle does come, if you remember around 2-3 years ago, they showed that the Night's King has a castle. There is a whole other world there. We've only seen that once, and they have a culture. I'd be very curious.
Maybe he has a personality too.
He might have a personality. Wouldn't that be great? If he has like marital problems, his wife hates him.
All right.
All that shit.
I just want to see the spin-off sitcom with the Night's King.
He's just sitting there binge watching. He's on meds and stuff like that. He's also a Milk of the Puppy addict. I mean, who knows?
Okay.
All his mirrors are shattered. He hates the way he looks.
His wacky neighbors, the Crafters.
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Moving on, please. Yes. And there might be an ice dragon. Boom!
So this was a great explosion.
Boom!
I love seeing the green explosions. It's so cool looking.
This was like Ecto Cooler Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Green. Neon green.
It's Ninja Turtle ooze. It's really toxic. Whoa!
Whoa!
Did we do that?
Whoa! Fucking cover.
Is this $1 billion show? Now you know where we are. Now we know where we are.
All right, so
I lost my train of thought. Oh, it's Nickelodeon Gak.
Right.
And I also kept expecting like Slimer to pop out, but on fire like a Slimer marshmallow.
So anyway, the long-winded way that what we're trying to describe
is that explosions are cool,
and the neon green wildfire was a little extreme. Okay, but how else would you see it glowing whenever Lancel was crawling slowly to the candles?
No, it worked. And also, what an ingenious way to make a bomb in medieval times. Just have a candle? I mean, that was, I'm sure people actually
So let's
did
see
that.
the next slide, right? Because this is where it's at. Oh, yeah.
You know what this was?
Cersei's
cheers.
like, all this terrorism makes me thirsty.
I'm gonna say this,
vengeance.
and then I'm going to give the mic to you for a bit. This was her Walder Frey moment. Remember when he was drinking during the Red Wedding and everyone's dying? Boom.
Boom. Boom goes the dynamite.
Axe drop. I'm not going to drop this. I like this axe too much.
You don't want it to land on your toe.
Let's never fight again.
So anyway, Cersei in full-on revenge mode. It was awesome.
And her new outfits are great.
Oh, the outfit! I mean, the
cool.
outfit was distracting. How cool it was.
So cool. Yeah.
The new collection from Westeros.
Exactly. Whoever's making those clothes, they're amazing artists.
This is runway worthy.
Oh, you know, remember I was freaking out. I was like,
Victory
who
sip.
paints
Thank
all
you.
those banners and the flags and stuff? They did mention. I think it was.
In case you missed it, we were asking. There's so many banners in the show.
Who's painting them all?
Who's painting them?
They must
And
have a
someone
whole-
wisely pointed out that there must be a banner man.
There has to be a banner, a whole art school workshop behind there. I mean, how many Targaryen sails did they make with
They did
perfect
it very
dragons? I
quickly.
mean, thousands of them. That was more than 100 ships.
Next slide, please.
Next slide,
We'll get to the ships.
Okay, got you.
We'll get to the ships. I just want to point out that Cersei, Marjorie is typically the smartest person in any room, particularly any room in King's Landing, and nobody listened to her.
No.
And this was a little painful to watch. What do you guys think about Marjorie going up in flames? Poor Marjorie, I see.
I didn't see that coming. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at this.
High Sparrow got a cool death.
I expected Tommen to go, but I did not expect Marjorie to go. And then I was wondering, well, what happens whenever Tommen's gone and Marjorie's the queen? We never had to figure it out. We will talk Tommen.
I thought the Mountain was going to kill.
They were
Tommen when he first
downsizing,
walked in.
Ninium says.
Yeah.
I think they are downsizing characters. They are wrapping up all the loose threads.
Yeah.
Less storylines. You're right. They're trying to
But at
move
the same
it
time,
all
making new
towards
ones,
this
they're bringing
war.
Dorne back, a whole new storyline.
Well, that's part of the war,
Right.
right? And it wouldn't make sense if Dorne was just ignored because they invested way too much time in it the wrong way. So now they have to right the ship,
Right.
with some ships.
And then they just catapult Varys back to Marine, and they're all
Your throne, bro. What, this old thing?
our stable throne. Our Home
All
Depot
right,
throne.
so what's next? Who do we have here? How to get rid of half of your secondary cast? Invite them to a party and blow the party
Yeah,
up.
just blow the party up. It seems pretty
So this
easy,
was
actually.
this was very effective. What happened here?
And let me add, this was wildfire that was there from the Mad King.
Yes.
So they
And
didn't use all the wildfire.
No,
in
there's more
Blackwater. That
wildfire.
was
But
new
last
wildfire.
week, Tyrion actually was telling Daenerys about the wildfire. And
But I'm saying that was there the whole time. They didn't have to place that.
And
or
Dorne
anything
was
like
boring. I hope it gets better. Okay, what's next for us?
that. What do we got?
Oh, the Children of the Corn.
I was getting.
This is very dark. You might not be able to see
Were you guys
this.
getting a Children of the Corn vibe from all the little birds?
These are the little birds. If you can't
Qyburn's
see
little
this,
birds and
the
Pycelle
little
getting
birds,
killed by them.
and I have to assume that they were not so murder happy when they were Varys' little birds.
Probably no. I think Qyburn's turned.
Qyburn is
yeah.
the worst scout troop leader.
He's terrible.
It's
He's
like,
terrible.
you know what? Instead of earning merit badges and selling cookies,
Just get blood on your hands. Just get blood
You're
all
gonna-
over your
you're gonna
outfits,
work for this
and
merit
you're
badge.
good to go.
and Pycelle, they wrapped up the story of Pycelle. Like, who's left? It's Cersei and
But she really has no. I mean, she's
Qyburn.
got a big army, but she has no allies. Everyone else is
she's
going to
done.
be with
She's done.
Daenerys.
Jamie will end up killing Cersei for her own good.
Well, how do
because
you- the
he'll have
question
a
is, how do you
love
think
interaction with
Cersei-
Brienne and Cersei will lose it? I don't know if that's the reason, but I do think that Jamie is probably going to
Uncle
be the one.
Kevin's dead.
Uncle Kevin is dead. Uncle Kevin was in the sept that blew up.
Yeah, you didn't see that cool death slide I made up? As a
There were
Photoshop,
so
half
many
an hour it took
people's,
me.
so many people's exploding corpses to keep track of.
Yeah.
I forgive you for missing Uncle Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Pycelle was gross. He was gross. So
At
anyway,
least he got one last romp with a hooker in. I mean,
it was in his contract.
dude
I
made
think
it
it's
for like 80 years.
One
he,
per
had a pretty,
season.
he had a pretty good
One
run.
per season.
Most people don't last that long.
And the little birds, yeah. Children of the Corn. Okay, what's next? Oh, yes, Tommen. I want to point out last week, you said something, or last week, I think it was yesterday. Seems like last week. So much has happened. You pointed out something about giants, right?
Yes.
If you consider 1-1,
Oh, should I say my theory again? I
Hodor
really liked
and the
it.
mountain. Okay, what's your
Okay,
theory?
so here's my theory. It's not a theory, it's a fact. There's 3 giants, right? We have Hodor, the mountain, and Woon.
Right.
Woon's
Giant-esque.
sole fate was to keep a door open, right, and get Winterfell back. Hodar's sole fate was to keep a door closed. So I assumed that the mountain would become a door.
No, and I said, well, maybe he's more of a window kind of guy.
Right. But that's a big window. I mean, it might as well be a door.
Mountains
that's
blocking
like some rich
the door.
person windows right there.
Anyway, so you use the window.
Yeah. I thought the mountain was going to kill Tommen when he first
Tommen is such a
walked in.
tragic character. Okay, I want to get a show of hands. Are you sad about Tommen, or are you just glad to move on? Right?
One axe
Because
down
was anyone
for
attached
Tommen.
to him? Are you sad? No.
He's a weak king.
He was
Manipulated by everyone.
He was not a very good king. I'm sad for Tommen. Sad. We're getting some mixed emotions.
Glad to move on.
Glad
Yeah, you want to
move
see
on.
Cersei as ultimate predator mode.
So,
and she has no kids, so she has no reason to be nice
So I'm
anymore.
interested to see how this affects Cersei. So
You like when I yell at you like that? Just like talking right at you?
It's okay.
Cool.
I have a sword.
And I have an axe. That's why I got it
Okay.
for you. We're good.
So, yes, we needed to keep the tradition of a king dead for each season, Qyburn says.
Makes sense.
Is Tommen a kind of food?
Cersei, not Cersei. I know. It's hard. I'm sorry. I got a weird Brooklyn
spice.
accent. It comes out like that.
Okay, so let's move on because Tommen is he's a flapjack.
Flapjack.
Okay, so I just want to remind you, if you are watching on Periscope, please restream, please share to your friends, and if you are watching on Facebook, please subscribe, live subscribe to this because we will do more shows about Game of Thrones. We'll do at least one more, maybe two. We'll
Probably
see.
do one or two more.
Because I want to do one that's just talking about what we think is happening next in Season 7
Yeah.
and then Season 8.
I just want to wear
all
this
conspiracy
and dress
theories
up.
and conjecture.
Yeah.
So live subscribe on Facebook and also share because sharing is caring. Show
true.
us you
If it
care.
rhymes, it's
Show
true.
us you care.
Yeah.
For the King of the North.
And I think we should introduce our Periscope friends to our Facebook friends because they don't even know they exist, but they're very
They come
good,
together in this
different audience.
room, but they're different cliques. They sit in different lunch
They're
tables.
they're the love Jorah or the hate Jorah crowd.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Periscope hates Jorah.
Facebook loves Jorah. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to point out, we already talked about Cersei's amazing costume.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to point out her awesome crown. How quickly did they make that crown? I mean, they whipped, like,
You can make 1,000 Targaryen banners overnight.
they whipped up that crown pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Hand of the Queen, we'll get to that. So Cersei was prepared for this. Rodrigo says Cersei knew that would happen.
She didn't know Tommen was going to die.
Did anyone else think she did not seem that broken up over Tommen?
She wasn't broken up.
I was kind of shocked by that.
At all.
I think she already accepted that Tommen was gone. He had already betrayed her because he did away with the trial by combat. So I think that she had already written Tommen off.
And she loved Tommen because of the power that afforded her.
That's probably the second she had someone start working on the crown.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and this badass outfit.
Or maybe it's like, during like the Super Bowl, they make hats for both teams just in case.
Cersei
so maybe
is
she
now
might
the
have
Mad
made that
Queen.
crown a long time ago, just in
You
case.
make, both, in case either one.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. You don't want to turn those sails away.
Exactly.
So she is a straight up evil queen now.
And she looks cooler with the short hair.
She's so good at this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for Cersei as the evil queen.
And again, she has no kids. She has no reasons to be nice
You're right. It was a great score and great music last night. She accepted the prophecy. She's just going to have fun.
How is Jaime going to feel about
Well,
this?
so the prophecy that all 3 of her children would die and that she would be killed by the Valancourt, which is Valyrian for little brother, right?
Right.
So Jaime gives that look like, I'm not sure about this new direction. Your outfit looks pretty boss, but I'm not sure about this whole
I
thing.
think we should just be friends again.
Maybe,
Something like that.
Brienne, I'm going to go catch up with her.
Exactly.
She's out in a boat racing Gendry.
Yeah, or she's with Tormund, hopefully.
She didn't seem as shaken by his death. Yeah, I think, like I said.
But she wasn't
I think wrote
expecting
him
it.
off.
She wasn't purely expecting it. I think.
Is
she
Jaime
comes
her
a shock.
king? I don't think she wouldn't want a king.
She doesn't need. She's the queen.
She's the queen.
Yeah. First of her name. Terrifying.
When is the last week with John Oliver recap show? It's going to be after this.
First, we have to do a whole season of our Fuller House recap show.
I want to do Fuller House.
And then we'll get to it.
Okay, so let's move on.
New slide.
We just agree that Cersei is the best at being an evil queen. Did anyone else groan when you saw the sand snakes? Was there some groaning?
Not when Queen of
Olenna?
Thorns handed
Grandma?
their asses back to them. I like that.
Yeah, I see some yes. Yes, Grandma shut them down, all 3 of them. Do not mess with the Queen of Thorns.
No, because
She
honestly,
is sharp.
they're kind of annoying characters.
And I think the show accepts and acknowledges.
Yeah,
that
even their
fans do not
accents
like
don't
them.
sound real. I mean, that could be their real accents, but it just sounds weird.
Whenever the Sand Snakes were initially cast, there was a lot of excitement for
And
their
hype.
characters and
Yeah.
hype and the whole Dorne thing. We waited for Dorne for a long time. Oberyn was so cool. And then someone says, Kelsey says, Dorne is one big ugh.
Yeah,
That-
it's one
that
big
that says
meh.
it all.
It's a meh.
It's an ugh or
It's
a
a
meh.
meh,
It's
yeah.
kind of a mug.
It's a mug.
It's a mug.
Total mug. Ridiculous.
And listen, nothing against the actresses. I think they just don't have a whole lot to work
I
with here.
do like the I don't know if she's the youngest one, the one that fucks with Bronn.
That was
She's
good.
good.
I liked her because she was playing off Bronn
Yeah.
and because we love
But
Bronn.
other than that, they're very one-sided characters.
So anyway, they are joining the fight. Let's move to the next one. So we got Grandma Tyrell, we got the Martells, and we
Lord
have
Varys.
Lord Varys. He's just
Moving
jumping. He's got the TSA pre-pass. He's just like
no, he's got a
slipping on
hoverboard
through.
like the ones that everyone uses. He's the only one that has that.
He's
got little wicker wheels.
You know
but
what?
It just flies
He
around.
should just open a travel agency.
He's
He would
got
get
it.
all the business.
No
All the
traffic, no
business.
cars on the road yet. I mean, he's getting around pretty quickly.
So yeah.
He's got a eunuch horse that just flies. I don't know what it is.
I don't think he has to have a eunuch horse, technically, because he's a eunuch.
No, but if you don't have balls, you could run faster. Probably.
Oh,
Don't get in the
that's
way.
true.
Just
That's
saying.
true. And time is not linear in this, with
No,
3
exactly,
exclamations, Scott
exactly.
says. That's true.
No, he
but
pulled
it's
an
just-
Interstellar.
It's,
He wormholed.
They
He
play with
wormholed.
time a little.
Anyone
it just
can
seems
wormhole
like
him.
it just seems like it should at least run. All the stories should kind of run together.
Right.
And but Varys can fly, like Bran. You won't walk, but you can fly. You won't have balls. but
I'm
you can
okay with
fly.
that. I mean, he's aerodynamic. He's streamlined. If he just got a running start,
He has no baggage. That is true. That is
got
very
no
true.
baggage. If he
No
pulls like
baggage.
remember Super Mario Brothers when he gets the cape, you run fast enough. You just get lift. That might
All
be
right.
it.
Do we realize the women are running things? Do we ever?
Do we realize? I mean, it's the hashtag I'm with her is the hashtag of the show for sure.
Do you think Tyrion is in love with Daenerys? I don't. I think he's just.
I think he's humble.
He
and
loves
terrified
being
by her.
appreciated.
Yeah,
Tyrion loves being appreciated.
and he had
she
his
appreciates
first
him.
quasi-religious moment this week.
What do you mean?
It was the first time he ever got on his knees and bowed to someone. It was like
Right.
I acknowledge.
He found
that
something
this
to
is-
believe in.
Yeah, he found faith.
Right. What was? Isn't it Wham? Little faith. You gotta have faith.
Gotta have faith. Sure.
Go ahead. You want to?
I mean, to sing the
Little-
song. I'm not going to sing the song, but you
Little
guys
Wham?
know what I'm talking about.
Little George Michael in here.
Little-
Okay, so
I was gonna do the Limp
moving
Bizkit
on to the
version,
next one.
absolutely.
You could do that too,
I'd
but
rather
we'll
not.
lose all of our viewers. Yes, we'll get to Dario.
Oh, and another man. So not
get
only
to
did
Dario
they
next.
paint all the flags, but they built amazing dragons on
They
1,000
carved
ships.
So you got all the sails with the logos.
I mean, the best
This is
artists in the
branding.
world are in Westeros.
This is they
Yeah.
know branding
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones, and it was so impressive seeing that dragon
They're
head on
very
that.
well done dragons. I mean, people devote their lives to that shit.
It's like she had it in advance.
I had to re-outfit the ships. I mean, that's...
So she's got her troops, and then I was shocked to see Varys is here. It's like we just saw him in Dorne, and then it's like star wipe to
pulled up
he's
on
on
like
a
a
ship,
jet ski
and
or
they
submarine.
pan, and it's like.
I think he should have his own submarine. Like
I
that
think-
makes sense. Just a big white bald submarine that just
he
goes
has
through
portals.
The water. Yeah.
Just to say one line, it was a
Yeah.
little weird. Just every
Just
week,
to stand there and look smug.
Marketing Kings. Every week, I put a mission out to people, make this like the 80s Survivor music video montage of Arya's training. This week, it's going to be edit Varys into the background of every single scene,
Because he's
in
always
every
there.
environment.
He's always there.
He came back with the Martell ships. That is a good point. You might not have noticed this. Did you notice the sails?
I noticed in some...
Did you notice the
in
sails?
a bunch of articles I was reading, I read all the comments, and there was a debate over whether those sails were there or not. Obviously, they could have been, because Varys already brokered the deal on his back, so they knew. So I'm going to assume that maybe there were there.
Theory, Varys is a faceless man.
That's a good theory.
Ballless man,
And when I get
hairless
home,
man,
I'm
and
going to
faceless
rewatch
man.
the episode like 10 times probably, so I'll give a look at the sails for
The
sure.
Tyrell fleet was with him. Yeah, and then there were theories like maybe they met up halfway, like whatever. But regardless, it looks like
Regardless, it made us smile, and we were
So let's
psyched
move
to
on
see
to the
dragon
next
things.
the
That
next
was awesome.
visual here. We talked about the Hand of the Queen,
Which I really want to wear, but I can't. Oh, it's not so bent. This thing doesn't come
a little
off.
bent.
What do you have to unscrew
you got to
it?
show them. This is, we've got the hand of the queen. Speaking of branding, whenever Daenerys is like, I'm not sure if it's exactly right.
Luke, you're a king. Can you open this for me?
Why would a king have to open your pin?
Because you just did.
I guess.
I couldn't do it.
So, she's like, I'm not sure if it's right. I didn't have the brand guide, but it looked pretty good. So, how do they pin things on so easy in the shows?
Because it just goes in.
I think it's double stick tape. It's Velcro.
It's definitely Velcro. It's some technology.
That's how they also stay on the dragons. Yeah. Velcro.
It's 1,000,000 dead gecko feet, and they just stick it on.
Almost cry. I see a Sylvia. Sylvia says, yes. I have the pin. Push it in, then pull it out. That's how.
Well, I think in the show this part just goes in like a brooch.
That's
like
what they're saying,
right? Is that what it's called?
Yes, right. Something like that.
Right. Luke and I were
TV magic. TV
magic.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Daenerys is getting interesting again. You are absolutely right.
You've been Jorad.
You've been Jorad.
Poor Dario.
Ooh. Dario was Jorad hard.
Are we going to see him again? Is that the end of it? Or are they going to recast him? They'll just recast him.
Do you guys think that
it's a tough call.
We've seen the last of Dario Naharis?
I hope not. He was a good character. He grew on me.
It was about time. Jorah better die. Our Jorah haters. Dario should kill Jorah.
Hope Jorah gets hit by a car.
Terrible Jorah, the friend zone king. And that's the thing. Like, I felt.
Yeah, but she's single again. So
that's true. I felt bad for Jorah when Dario was giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
And now he's been Jorah.
He got Jorah.
That's what
you
get.
Taste of his own medicine.
That's what you get. And trademark, you've been Jorah.
Yeah, he'll probably enjoy his time at Marine, though, I would imagine.
He'll had to justify the room on the ships.
Who will Dany marry? It's a good question. Oh, Yaren is out. Euron is out.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
they could need him. They could reunify.
But it would be too late for him to kill Theon.
He's a little late to the party.
Yeah, that's what
he's a little late to the party, but he's going to be big because they set him up. I'm pretty sure Euron Greyjoy is going to be a big villain, so he's not going anywhere.
Right.
So anyway, you've been Jorah. Dario Naharis, we enjoyed our time with you.
But it's time for you to go back, and you got it good. I checked your IMDb.
It's not
you got
you.
some good stuff coming up.
It's not you, it's
got
us.
Some good films and whatever. Let him do his thing, right?
And listen, if we didn't see a body, he's never really dead. And
no, I mean he wasn't killed.
He could be out there with Gendry somewhere.
He's going to find Gendry. They'll show up together. Done.
Jorah's got to come back too, though.
Right.
Because Jorah went out to cure the grayscale, so I think that we might see this environment again.
Right.
Who has bluer balls, Dario or Jorah?
Dario doesn't have blue balls. He's fucking on the regular. Now he'll have blue balls.
Jorah
has scaly balls. We don't really know.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
You want to keep talking about balls?
We see Mary Yara. Yeah, we'll see. She might have to make it legal in the Seven Kingdoms.
Right, we don't know. We don't know what their old constitution says or their weird.
We don't know
what the Seven Stars has to say about that.
So
is that buggery if it's two girls?
I don't know if that constitutes buggery.
Buggery, yeah. Glad they brought the word buggery back. I haven't heard that since Bible class.
I like to have that in our cultural lexicon.
Bring back buggery. Hashtag that.
Right. Buggery. Hashtag buggery.
Hashtag buggery.
Speaking of buggery.
Pride Week. It was Pride Weekend. What do you mean? All New York City. Buggery was the word of yesterday.
I just want a T-shirt that says hashtag buggery.
If anything, they need a rainbow dragon going on or something.
Okay, so anyway, we enjoy the girl power. We enjoy the gay Pride Week. We enjoy the dragons. And be sure to follow everything like this dragon is following this epic fleet.
Right.
Which was pretty cool to see after all this time. And I just want to point out, I've been saying for a very long time, I could not wait. I was so excited for the moment when we would see Dothraki and their horses on ships.
And the ships were there. I mean, the horses
I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to see them trotting on. I wanted to see like a dock, and I just wanted to see a Dothraki horde walking on.
Be nervous about it before they get on. Yeah, they were like making ropes and tying knots. They knew what they were doing.
Beth on Facebook wants to know, did you watch the episode?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, my. Was it last night? Was it last night?
Fuck.
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
All right, well, we're going to be done soon. We'll go check it out.
We'll finally watch the season finale.
Yeah.
Okay, nice job on the visuals this week. Thank you. Thank you very much. We actually have a director. His name is Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
He's not manning the Periscope, which is why it's blurry. I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry, Periscope.
So while we're talking about follow and share...
They're going to go buck wild on that ship. That is quite a cruise.
Who said that? Who said that? Give him a shout out.
Hashtag buggery.
Hashtag buggery. Excellent. All right. So speaking of
big up to Ben. You're getting shout outs, Ben.
Speaking of following and stuff like that, yesterday, if you remember, Luke made it out loud and made a vow that if we get 100 extra likes on our Facebook, he would shave his head like that.
No such
you know
vow.
what? We totally did get 100 extra likes.
I made no such vow.
If you could bring up the slide, I worked really hard. I don't know if we can get it. I photoshopped. Yeah.
If you can see this.
Now, it does look like
Mrs. Stevens says I never said that.
A burn victim? Shut up, Mrs. Stevens. What do you know? I was here. I heard
it. Looks like I shaved my face,
Looks like you really
too.
just got your head burned off.
I shaved my face. I shaved my head.
But I'm all for it, so we're going to make it happen. And we have what? You said you do it within 2 weeks? Is that what you vowed? I'll have to go back to the tapes. You mumbled it. But we're going to get a Lord Luke Varys going on soon.
The internet doesn't lie.
The internet doesn't lie, which is why...
I prefer the Renly look. Thank you, Britta. Thank you.
Yeah, but then he has to break a vow. He's going to go to hell. We can't afford that.
There are plenty of oath breakers in this show, and it always works out for them.
Does it?
It works out for the oath breakers.
Maybe. We're going to find out.
So far.
Not for you.
Okay, so no spoilers, please. What, about me shaving my head?
Or about Season 7. Let's not spoil Season 7.
We don't know any... Right now, if
I know he's going to shave his head.
If you have watched the season finale, there are no
looks
spoilers.
like Howie Mandel, totally.
On a bad day.
With a burnt head.
Howie Mandel on a bad day. For the record, Howie Mandel never has a bad day.
You can't.
Because he's Howie Mandel.
No, he's Bobby. He's Bobby.
Bobby's World. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get this off the screen.
No, maybe Ben, if you could just enlarge that, just enlarge it. That'd be fine.
Large and in charge. It looks like my gut has enlarged in that.
Do we have a sound effect for that? Oh, here we go.
There we go. This is what I want to see. Speaking of things that are enlarged, this fleet, these dragons, that is a lot
more than 100 ships also.
That is a lot of CGI.
Yeah.
So, will we see Brienne next season? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I assure you.
And P.S. I don't see any. I can't even tell what the flags are. I don't see. I see.
There was another shot with the flags.
All right, we'll have to check.
So anyway, it was pretty epic. This was a great visual. I've been talking about what's the last visual that this season would give us, and I thought it's either going to be the Tower of Joy and realizing the truth about R plus L equals J, Jon Snow's true parentage, or it's going to be the fleet sailing to Westeros.
And we got both of those.
This was good. This was good. Spoiler alert, Harry Potter will not return to Hogwarts.
Damn you, Daniel Radcliffe, and your non-Hogwarts ways.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, nope, no Lady Stoneheart.
Not coming back.
No Lady Stoneheart.
But there's still lots of Starks alive, so I'd say that family is doing pretty good.
I'd say in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, there's only two Lannisters
Starks are
left.
not.
Was there two
the
Lannisters
Starks
left?
They were down in the first quarter.
Right, but they're up again.
They're up again.
They're up again.
Lannisters, it's could be anyone's game.
No, but really, there are only two Lannisters left of all of them, right?
Yeah. Is that true? I think you're right. I think that pretty much all the Lannisters are wiped out.
Yeah, but there's four Starks left.
Theon, talk about Theon.
What's to say? He's on a ship.
He's on a ship.
But now, at least he's in the same fleet with Varys, so I'm really hoping, again, like I said, there's going to be
party.
a eunuch
they're
party.
on the same ship. Hashtag,
no, they're not. They're not on the same ship.
Hashtag no buggery. No. Hashtag no buggery.
I think you can't bug out with.
Wait, somebody says a couple people say three Lannisters.
Who's the other third?
Jaime, Cersei. Who's the third Lannister? 3 Starks and a cousin Stark. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jon Snow would be a cousin.
He'd be a cousin.
Tyrion. Oh, Tyrion.
Tyrion. But we don't know if he's...
Unless he's a Targaryen.
But I can't wait to see Cersei's face when he shows up with that goddamn army. That's going to be awesome. We're just looking behind there.
Well, there's comments behind the computer. Gotcha. Some of the long ones I have to go like this.
It's like, what is happening? What is happening?
Yes, Cersei is dead. She won't be queen for long against the Martells, Tyrells, and Daenerys. Yeah.
Against everyone. Listen, everyone there is that's not... She's going to make a pact with the Night King.
Maybe.
That's her only chance.
She's got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, literally nothing to lose.
She's got nothing to lose.
Yeah. I think she's going to...
Everyone's saying Tyrion. Everyone's jumping down our throats because we forgot that Tyrion.
You're right. I forgot about Tyrion.
He's been so out of the Lannister loop.
He renounced his name. He renounced his name.
He no longer pays his debts.
Yeah. He's got no more debt. Don't say it.
He's the Lannister with bad credit.
Yeah, and we'll make Bran a Lannister. Because he's...
Bronn Lannister.
Bronn Lannister. That's
okay, so let's move on. There's no Lady Stoneheart. We know that. You know that. You just need to accept it.
Do we have any more? Oh, so again,
the dragon has 3 heads. Speaking of people who may or may not be Lannisters, people who may or may not be Targaryens, we are still giving away. If you go to facebook.com/ESNTLTV for Essential TV, We're giving away these Funko Pop. It's a 3-pack. The dragon has 3 heads. Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, and Tyrion Lannister Targaryen?
TLT.
TLT.
Done.
I'm not going to fact check that.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
acronyms.
So everyone enter Gendry.
We'll get him. I think we're going to get him in the next 2 years. At some point, we'll find him.
They've got to show Gendry again.
I'd be let down.
I mean, Arya's now kicking around.
Yeah.
My first theory was we're going to see Gendry whenever we see the Brotherhood without banners.
He'll make
Because
it
he already
back.
knew them.
Yeah.
We saw them. He wasn't with
He
them.
might get reunited with the Red Woman. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, that would be great. They had a little thing.
You know,
A
not
little
the
thing.
best of relationships.
She wanted to
start
kill him,
on.
but that was a
she
thing.
Did put a leech on his dick, but you know, this is Westeros. Maybe that's
You
a sign
are
of
Renly
affection.
Baratheon. Thank you very much.
In case you didn't know.
Just keep rowing, Gendry.
Exactly.
Keep on rowing.
Exactly.
Work those arm muscles. Where
Gotta get
is
ripped.
he?
Gotta get ripped.
He's just rowing in circles.
Yeah.
I did want to point out, I forgot to mention earlier, that Walder Frey, there was a comment where he said about Edmure Tully, he locked him back in a cell.
Because he can't kill his relative or something like
This
that.
poor guy.
Yeah,
This poor guy just can't win. Edmure,
Yeah. I thought Jamie was going to be cool to him.
I
he
thought Jamie
probably
was
will
gonna be
now that Walder Frey is dead. But we
Well,
do we
Arya-
care?
Arya
do we
will let him
care
out.
about Edmure?
I do. I like Edmure.
All right,
Because I like him from other things.
You don't have
get
this
to-
cool pin,
You don't
so
get to,
it's
you don't get
different.
to know, but I got this cool crown.
You can't like him because of what he does in other shows. That's ridiculous.
Helmet guy looks like the Frey that bluffed about hanging Edmure Tully.
I did. I know that's not a compliment, but like I mean, it's a terrible insult.
Fun
but
fact.
I kind of do.
Fun fact: he is a Frey stunt double.
I am a Frey stunt double.
And
that's
fun
right.
fact: I am a Renly stunt double.
That was my toe.
And I've been out of
inside
work.
of the cake. That was my toe.
I've been
in the
out of
cake.
work for a long time.
Yeah, it's okay. That's
Toe
why we
cake.
started this show.
Hashtag toe cake.
Toe cake. Done.
Okay. Who is now Lord of the Twins? There's a lot of Freys.
I feel like
There's a lot of
Jamie.
Freys.
Jamie's in charge of all
I think
that.
Jamie's going to take
Jamie's
over.
in charge. Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you go for the giveaway? Go to facebook.com/ESNTLTV. There's a giveaway tab, and if you're on mobile, there's a sign-up button. And I know there were some issues with the sign-up button on mobile, but the
have to
desktop
click
definitely
it.
works.
Right.
You do have to click it.
Right. Don't just look at it. But yeah.
Too many Freys. Too many Freys.
Way too many phrases.
What are your names, by the way?
I'm Joe, and this is Luke, and this is Essential TV.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Gendry's still rowing.
What do we got? We got on the
Rowan.
slide, and again, you know, in memoriam, goodbye, motherfuckers, to all these people that died.
Jerk,
Are we going to miss any of these
irritating, too soon, moron.
people? Although Mace finally got to
I like
show some
Loras.
emotion when they were cutting into Loras.
Oh, yeah.
Finally
That
showed
guy,
something.
Mace, I got to assume Mace just, even to the last second, did not know what was going on.
He had no idea what was
That
going
guy
on.
is an
Another
idiot.
milk of the puppy addict.
He's so dumb.
Who even knows?
Marjorie,
Probably eats, like, Shade
Tyrell.
of the
The
Evening or
only,
something.
I mean, I did like Loras. They didn't show him much lately, but I
He
did like
was
Loras.
cool.
He was cool. And I like Marjorie, but honestly, I mean,
They had
tying
to
up
do
the
it.
loose ends.
They had to do it.
Sharon on Periscope, are we going to do other shows? Yes, we will. We're
Yeah,
going to
it's
do
mostly going to be revolving around this image. We're probably going
Right.
to do an entire webcast series
We're gonna
based
Photoshop
on
it
this.
live.
Every episode, we're just going to zoom in closer and closer to the face, and that'll be
So,
it.
yes, but we are going to do more shows. We'll do at least one more Game of Thrones because I want to dedicate a whole conversation to what we think is next.
Right.
So be sure to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/ESNTLTV for Essential TV, and follow at Essential_TV and at EssentialGOT on Twitter.
Nailed it. That's a lot to remember.
Where's the giveaway on Facebook? There's a giveaway tab if you're on desktop, and if you're on mobile, there's a sign up button. And if the sign up button on mobile doesn't work, try the desktop.
Do it.
You guys should take over the whole channel, do everything.
Done. Give us HBO already. It's
on.
ours. It's
So,
ours.
you know, those After the Thrones guys, just
Murder them, and we'll take it.
let's pull you know.
I need those
pull an
real. So
Arya.
I'm sick of playing with plastic. I
Let's
need a
feed
real
one, the
eggs.
other one in a little cake.
Yeah, we'll cake them. Hashtag
We'll
cake
cake
'em. Done.
Cake
Done.
'em. Okay, is there anything else, Mr. Ben? I think that might be it.
I think
Nope.
we got it.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank
everyone.
you who have been tuning in for the past 10 weeks. We really
Yeah, thank you.
appreciate it. This was a lot of
There's
fun.
a lot of people.
This was a lot of awesome. We've been
You've
getting,
enjoyed.
This was
enjoyed.
fantastic. This was a great time.
And so be sure to like everything. Oh, what did Lyanna whisper to Ned? That is a great question to end on.
we assume
I assume-
targets blah 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 Targaryen
Blah, 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 Rhaegar, blah, 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 don't kill him, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. this hurts.
Exactly, blah, blah, blah.
Get me a
My
Band-Aid.
stomach has exploded. Blah, blah, blah. I'm really thirsty right now. What the hell? Morphine?
Like
Ever hear of morphine?
And maybe we'll do The Walking Dead, but Joe's got to watch The Walking Dead.
Right, but I could sit on the side and just drink while you talk. I've been
I
doing
can talk
that
Walking
anyway, so
Dead.
that's totally fine.
Okay, thanks, everyone. So,
but we love you all. Thank you for coming.
We'll do another one.
And
we got to figure out when. We got to figure out when.
Soon, but we like our Mondays at 6 type thing. That's been working out.
We like Mondays
so
at 6.
We'll probably do it around then. But there will be more programming for you guys.
Maybe we should do Sunday when Game of Thrones would normally have been on.
Oh, because there's nothing else replacing.
Because there's nothing.
Just talk. We'll just reenact the episodes.
We'll just reenact them.
I'll put more money into costumes. I'll do it.
We have the costumes already.
Done.
Okay, cheers. And now our watch has ended. And now our stream has ended.
Winter is here, even though it's 1,000 goddamn degrees in this city.
Valar Morghulis, play us out.
Bow, bow, ja cha cha, ja cha cha, jum 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 jum.